We're recording.
Hey, everybody. This is Dave coming to you live, literally, from over the interwebs for another Geeky Topics Roundtable discussion here at Fandible.com. Woo! First time doing this online-ish. Kind of. You can see. So, are they going to be able to see our faces, or is this going to be audio only? Oh, yeah, they are totally.
Our faces are there.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, this is a mistake then. Oh, God.
Yeah.
How do we look?
Jesus. All right.
You guys look phenomenal, all of you. Except for Jesus looks like he's getting. Jesus has such an amazing neutral background. You look like one of those like
awkward tender pictures.
It actually kind of looks.
Lowered expectation.
Oh my God! No, you actually look like a CGI avatar. Like they're like, look, it looks as real as we can get it. It responds to your words. Anyway, so
I have emotions.
Well, so this is Dave, and
What emotion was that? Murder?
Murder's an emotion. I hear it.
Murderbot, of course. So I am joined here online with Daniel, Angela, Billy, and Jesus, and we're going to cover a couple of topics. But we're going to, and apologies if any of the audio gets weird, listeners and/or viewers. This is our first time doing it. I mean, I took as many steps as possible to make sure that this is a seamless process. But fuck, they can see me smiling, can't they?
You can tell he's lying because his lips are moving.
I showed up late. I didn't even bother figuring out how my camera works. So
everyone.
Yeah.
I told Fandible that this was going to start at 3:00, and then I scheduled it for 3:05.
You did not. You did not account for.
And true to form, at 2:59, I get the email from David like, "Hey,
do I have to wear pants?"
Oh no. No.
No. Well, that was one of our good answers. Like, no, you don't have to wear pants. Oh, good. So I don't need a video. No, you need a video. Oh man.
Wait, why are those connected? Why are those associated with each other?
Like professionals, yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off this GTRT with a listener question. Listener didn't specify whether or not we can use their name, so we're going to say no. Thank you very much, listener. You know who you are and your wonderful, wonderful question. Starts off with, hi guys and gals. Sooner or later, most RPGs get into combat, and then it's down to round by round shooting and stabbing and whatnot. Oh, the whatnot is the really good stuff. I usually play a shooty or stabby character, but look out for the whatnot specialists. They do crazy damage. But what if you want to play a pacifist character? What do you do to help while others are resenting you not picking up a gun? And then he ends with, or they end with cheers. Thank you very much. And so I'm going to let the resident player who actually the Coffin Crafts both play pacifist characters or semi-pacifist characters in 2 different games. And you play a pacifist character in Shadowrun, and Billy plays a pacifist-ish character in Unhallowed Metropolis.
I'm not sure.
No, absolutely. Like by build, like only starting being combat effective with rifles when it was clear that the zombies could not be persuaded to words. So for you two, for Angela, you picked a pre-build in Shadowrun that was a pacifist. So what's your experience playing that character?
Well, Poisey is the best character in the world. Well, her and Moira. So the two opposite ends of the spectrum there. I'm hearing a lot of feedback. Is anyone else hearing that?
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of echo. So let's give it 5 seconds.
All right, is this better?
No.
What's going on? Okay, since everybody has earphones, so we should be hearing that.
I blame anyone but myself.
See, you sound fine.
Yeah.
How do I sound? I sound great, right?
Yeah,
as I usually do.
Plugged in, right?
Yeah.
Our headphones. We're using the headphone splitter on our laptop.
Maybe that's it. You might be getting audio coming in from both.
Let me try something then. It's the atomic bomb.
Ooh.
Well, now I can't hear anything.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy echo.
Crazy echo though. Okay.
Fans, we're trying out this thing. There's some hiccups. I'm also drinking.
Yeah, I can see that. It's like 9 a.m. and you're drinking. My cat just attacked my ass. This is absolutely wrong.
I can't hear anything. It's bullshit.
All right, I'm gonna try talking now.
We're fine.
Yeah. All right. So way less. So maybe we are getting it from your headphones, Billy. It's okay, Billy. It's okay.
I was just nodding like making good points, guys. Nailing it.
You want like my other earbud?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's let's do the middle school crush thing on the bus.
All right, use that one.
Thanks, Sandy. No, Sandy, you can't leave the guy at a drive-through. Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
All right.
This is so stupid.
You look like two T's listening to the Backstreet Boys together.
Hey guys, what's going on? We're going to the malt shop.
Okay, all right. So the question was about
whether you want it that way or not.
And can I help?
You are my
You even have to echo again, which is perfect for that song.
Because we got so much party, guys. We gotta be ready.
Oh my god, we are ruining this.
Right. Are you kidding me? I feel like we should.
No, this is gold.
We gotta contact the.
What?
Billy unplugged our headphones for a second. All right.
Fucking cat, just okay. Fuck you too, animal.
Yeah, and now you know Terry White hasn't been a social medium all this while.
Yep. Imagine trying to play one of our games like this. Oh God, the chaos. One day.
Oh my god. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh my god, he just knocked over all kinds of shit and then hit. This is great. I am glad that thousands of years of human technological advancement has led to this moment. And you can watch what kind of antagonistic relationship I have with the one creature I try to keep alive.
There's surround sound. That's the thing. We're hearing it all in surround sound from you, David.
Oh my god.
Okay, so pacifism.
Yes.
Okay, all that bullshit.
All right. So Poisey is a fun pacifist character because while she physically is a very combat adept, she's still obviously a very angry, violent person. So mostly what playing her is about is finding ways to try to talk bullshit at people so that they don't want to stab me in the first place. Which can involve talking some real shit to be like, all right, don't stab me, stab Geeky. This will especially come coordinated if we don't meet any of his ex-wives. From his perspective. So what I like about playing this particular pacifist character is that it requires figuring out other things to do during a combat scene without having to be the person that's trying to cancel combat. Like there are pacifist characters who say, no, we should never ever fight. Poisey's total fighting. Just knows she's bad at it.
I think for my end, I think on my end a little bit is with Byron. First off, you play pacifist. I think it's kind of important to actually talk to your group a little bit. Like if your group is all filled with, I'm a chaotic evil death paladin, I'm a master assassin, and I'm a magi of death. I don't know. I'm really creative with names. Maybe playing a pacifist isn't what the group's looking for. And I'm actually a kind of a firm believer that, definitely make what you want to play, but know the story. But say it's cool to be a pacifist, like Byron a little bit. What I generally do with Byron when fighting breaks out is I kind of supply the comic relief. I try to give people advantages kind of through like dumb luck, accidents, things that make Byron look foolish but make another character look awesome. Like I give Moira a million opportunities to jump in and cut someone's head off who is just about to eat Byron. I make Byron crawl under train tracks in order for, like, you know, Marcus to have the ability to grab him and pull him away. I just give people the ability to look cool and be awesome. And that's Byron's mark. That's what I kind of built Byron to do, to make people look awesome when they want to fight. But if it's just playing kind of like a pacifist just in general, I guess the best thing you can do is try to supply buffs, if that's what your character can do. But if you're just a talker, yeah, it's kind of a hard one. Then it's just story, and that's what you're kind of supplying people. Story and opportunities to prove how badass they are. If you're a bard, if you're a mage, then you can at least do some buffs.
Sorry, I turned off my audio to see if that would help. And I think you did, actually. So for my own part, I think that, and you touched on this already, Billy, which is to talk to your group. I think as a storyteller, there's only so much that you can acquiesce to a player's desire to play a certain character if it contradicts the setting itself. Mm-hmm. If you're running a Warhammer style game where war is literally in the title, or if you're running a combat heavy game and you're clear with that on your players, everyone's going to want to, or not everyone, but you'll get that one player from time to time who wants to play something totally contradictory for story purposes or for whatever reason. Like, for instance, we're all playing a bunch of gunslingers. I want to play the snake oil salesman who has no combat experience. Like, okay, as a storyteller, make sure the player understands the consequences of playing a character without that accoutrement, that set of skills. Because there comes a point as a storyteller where you just have to let them kind of like twist in the wind. You know, like if they're constantly being left out of combat, you made it clear that combat is a part of the game, and they start having a bad time. That sucks. You did everything you could. My second point, and again, it comes down to you know, player experience and things like that. If they didn't know what they were getting into, it's your job as a storyteller to reach out to them and be like, look, this will probably not be fun. You might not have as much engagement in the story, which is going to be mechanics heavy. The second part of that is if you are playing a pacifist character, and specifically this question talks about pacifism, so it's a belief that your character, for whatever reason, morally will not pick up a gun, won't, you know, suddenly burn some sort of stat and then become Billy the Kid. The second part of that, I would say, is as a storyteller, ensure that there is not just something for that pacifist character to do, but an aspect that they can bring to the game that helps all the other combat characters. For instance, I'm going to bring up Byron again. Byron's not the most efficient until he got that elephant gun.
Yeah, that was really weird. I killed 5 men.
How did you not break your shoulders with that gun? Keep trying.
Well, it's a one shot. He fired it once. Okay, I got him. Hold on. I got my gun. Yes.
Killed 10 people.
Come here, buddy.
Another cat.
Go first.
That's amazing.
Yes, fans, this is how professional we are. We're glad a cat is gone.
But,
that cat had it
Where did I put
coming.
my fucking headphones? All right. Fuck yes.
Please try it and wait.
It keeps on doing that. It's very happened. So talk more about Byron's inability to kill.
So anyways, the thing about Byron that gets back to my point is Byron facilitates a part of the game that is crucial by design and also by how Jesus runs the game. Excuse me. Which is the political aspect, not just the social aspect, but the political aspect. And that is something that Byron brings that really only Byron can do. That's how you designed Byron, what you designed Byron to be good at. So as a storyteller, reach out to the player, make sure you communicate with the player. Hey, you're not going to be good at combat. Combat's going to be a thing. It's not going to be cut out of the game. But let's talk about what you can do that the combat characters cannot so that it still furthers the story and it adds a valuable quality to the team. Because the question as it's written, great. My neighbors are texting me now, being like, "Hey, everybody's snowed in. Let's go. Let's have cocktails." So sorry, guys, talking about role playing. But what do you do to help while others are resenting you not picking up a gun? That's a good question. If there's this person brings up resenting, if there's a general animosity, then again, it sounds like the other players need to be very clear. We want a combat game. We all want to be able to kick ass at this. And if you can't get everybody to agree, it's rare, but you might have to scrap the game. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, actually, I think that's a good point. It's easy for us to say when we're in New York to say oh, you just have to keep on looking for people to find a group.
Mm-hmm.
Keep on looking for different people to find that group to get what you're looking for. But some people have I live in a town of 12 people and I'm kind of stuck with those 4. It can be difficult, but a lot of people would have different opinions on what they want. I know a lot of people would not want to be in our Unhullum game because there's too much talking. Where I can't stand playing a game there where it's 2 hours of battle, as we saw a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
I also want to point out on the subject of this, in our last GTRT, we were talking about what we New Year's resolutions for gaming for 2016, and one of the ones that I put out there was I want a game that is basically entirely non-combat. So not only do I have a character like Foisey who avoids combat when she can, because it would just be bad. I don't want to get afflicted with David Dice, and that's how you do it, is play a character that just can't succeed. But I want a whole game that's built around, it can even still be, the without the combat, it can still be characters at each other's throats. But I want a game that's all about solving those problems, talking, spycraft, bartering, something like that. Haven't found it yet, but the year is young.
Actually, I think there was I can't remember who, a fan mentioned a game called House of Bards using the Fate system. Which is about,
do you get to talk to the camera? People walk off and they're like, now they think them Timberwolves are actually going to be wolves, but we'll show them who the real Timberwolves are. And these
honestly, if that's possible in the system, I would run it.
Fuck
hilarious.
That definitely seems like the sort of game that we should come back to Blab to play if we have to do these sort of monologues, because then you've got the camera right there.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. Also, Kevin Spacey, we know you're a big fan. You can call in. We understand that you probably don't have time to do the Blab, but you just send us an email or whatever and let us know.
Not you, the other Dan.
Oh, okay. There's so many Dans.
And I was saying hey to him.
Okay. I hated you too. Oh, you're saying you hated him. Okay.
So bringing that up kind of makes me think of one particular TV show that is completely void of combat, and it's one of the reasons that I was always never a fan of it. It was a cartoon known as Scooby-Doo, where everything was revolved around this idea that they would never physically just be like, you know what, the next time, you know what, Scoob, the next time we see the vampire, let's just beat the shit out of him. It's like,
you think they start carrying a gun, blah, bam!
Hey guys, we've solved literally 300 mysteries. It's never actually been a mummy or a werewolf or a zombie. So the next time we solve a case, let's just punch this guy. Let's punch this guy.
That assumption of them remembering that relies on thinking that Scooby Snacks aren't psychotropic drugs.
Yeah, they are. They are high as kites, my friend.
Fair enough. One of them thinks they're dog talks.
It is a good thing they don't carry guns, because how many old men would they have killed by now? It's always Old Man Wilson, Old Man Williams, Old Man Joe.
Well, there was actually
Scrappy-Doo.
Scrappy's all about fighting.
It'd be like geriatricide, I think is the proper term.
I still bring up my point about Scrappy-Doo. I'm the only one as a kid who loved Scrappy-Doo. Every time I'm in it, they're like,
that is you. That is all you.
I know. I'm people. I was remember Scrappy-Doo when they introduced him? Wasn't he a great dynamic? And people are like, do you like Jar Jar too? And I'm like, no.
Scrappy was I mean, he was clearly based off of the Chicken Hawk from Looney Tunes. Remember the Chicken Hawk that would hunt Foghorn Leghorn?
He was like the chicken hawk without the, appeal and the social dynamic.
That's true.
The charisma,
Without social
Yeah.
skills.
Also minus some of the inert racism of the time.
that's what we're really missing, really.
So let's say that you're a storyteller and you are running a game and somebody absolutely wants to play a pacifist, and it is a game like countless games that does have combat, and you want to have combat be an aspect of the flair and the thrill of the game, because obviously if you take out too many things that make it cinematic, you run the risk of playing what do I call it? Accountant the Mathening, where like you're like, it's so mundane that you're effectively just pantomiming normal people. And for one, some people get into that. I can't. That's why I'm always pro superpowers or pro magic. I want something that's totally separated from what normality or reality is. So let's say that you're running a game and somebody absolutely wants to be a pacifist. Can you think of a system that is as thrilling in its social dynamics than it is in its combat dynamics? So,
I would say World of Darkness, especially New World of Darkness, they kind of have some things that way. I'm sorry, Chronicles of Darkness. They have some things. It's not as exciting as the fighting, I guess. But also, there's Fate. Dresden does a lot of social, battling. A lot. I mean, that's a huge thing in Dresden. And some other Fate games. So I guess Fate would be a good system to use. Whenever I need anything, I just go to Chronicles of Darkness, because I think that's just so easy to follow and so easy to manipulate yourself. So if a person wants to play a pacifist, you can always figure out a way of saying, like, okay, while everybody's fighting the ink monster or the seaweed monster or the lamp monster, what are your skills and what can I give you to do while they're doing it? Like, if you're good at fixing cars, you could be trying to get fix the broken down Chevy that is your only escape. So I think that's why I like Chronicles of Darkness, because it's easy to know what people are good at, and it gives them kind of that thrill of trying to roll.
They also have the door system, which I thought was
exactly.
brilliant.
I was going to mention that now.
Dan, go ahead.
It's a full-on, pretty detailed system. That said, we haven't really used it in the games that I like. The games I've run, usually I simplify it a lot more because it can be pretty time-consuming. And
until Joe shows up.
And
Joe
also,
is not a door; he is a wall.
Yeah, but it's also designed, like, even when I do use it, I kind of play fast and loose with it, because it's kind of designed to be take over time. Like, there's something like, oh, hey, you failed this roll, you didn't open this door, and now you can't make any progress with this character for a week. And it's like, but there's a bad guy right on the other side of the door. We don't have a week. So sometimes I'll play fast and loose, but it is at least it is one of the few systems that actually has a good detailed system that you can work with in terms of social combat, as it were.
And the merit's available.
I've always been a huge fan.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, the merit.
The merit's available.
Is it a merit or is it a flaw?
I'm sorry.
Is it a merit or flaw?
There are a couple merits where you can skip like the first one or two doors of social interaction, it's basically like you're very scary or you're very ingratiating, and it's based and that is incredibly useful. You have those merits, and suddenly, because the thing I like about the door system is that it is as ironclad as the combat system, or at least the way that it's written, and that is, like, you can't just say like, oh, I intimidate the Primogen or whatever. That's a terrible sentence, and they should always be followed with the storyteller asking, "Are you sure?" But yeah, I intimidate whatever, this vampire, werewolf, whatever, and you can't just say like, screw the door system. You just roll your dice. Like, no, that's not why they wrote the door system. It's so that it's as complex and as nuanced. So that you can,
Thank you, Stevie, by the way.
and so it's nuanced. So basically, yeah, if you're a non-social character, you're as out of water as a non-combat character is in the midst of combat, and it evens things out. I appreciate that a lot. Can you guys think of any other games that offer a vibrant or robust social system? Dungeon World.
I hate the system, but would Apocalypse World do it? Like I do not do Apocalypse World. I always never have a good time with it, but it is kind of built with that idea of we are dealing with social issues and social relationships.
Yeah, there are always far more roles that are social oriented than there are, or there are far more moves that are social oriented than there are moves that are combat oriented.
I think I've lost a lot of respect from people for saying I hate the Apocalypse World engine, just as much as me saying like I liked Scrappy Doo. Like that, I've just lost everyone.
Well, I mean, in the Apocalypse World, take like Monster Hearts. Monster Hearts, it's all about the social moves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did not like that game. I mean, like, I gotta be honest.
You were also playing the normal person.
I know it was a bad idea. Talk about running with a joke that doesn't have legs.
Well, we did like an Apocalypse World engine. It was Masks. You liked Masks?
I did.
Yeah, Masks is a pretty good. Like I said, we've tried Apocalypse World. I think it overcomplicates itself sometimes when it goes into relationship. Like sometimes it feels like instead of it, like the role playing coming organically, you're kind of just defined by a set of rules that you always have to follow. Like at one point, someone scolded like Daniel's character, and he immediately had to switch his love and hate instantly.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, dude, that's not
suddenly you get all flighty.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I liked Masks too, so I think that's actually the best Apocalypse World game I played.
Yeah. So okay, let's say going on this idea of combat versus utility of social interaction when playing like a pacifist character and things like that. Can you guys imagine how you would approach asking a person who stopped playing a useless character? Like honestly, like again, we're in a podcast. We are friends. We talk about, we intentionally build characters for narrative or we don't. But how would you go about approaching someone and being like, hey, this is the 5th game where you have instead of trying to facilitate combat being over quicker or something like that, like you've intentionally put yourself in situations that are prolonged combat because you insist on playing this character who is not capable of saving themselves in a physical manner or during a physical confrontation. I would like you to play a different character. Like for instance, like again, if Foisey, Angela's character in my Shadowrun game, was not good at other things or had some sort of fucking flaw that she took that allowed, constantly left her, precariously hanging off of a ledge of something at the end of every combat scene and had to be saved. Like I'd probably be like, this is not adding to the story.
Why haven't you talked to Granite? Because that is actually what he's done with every time he casts a spell, we've killed countless innocents.
But they're not us, so it's fine.
Oh, I feel like the dice.
They die.
I feel like the dice is like the magic hand or the invisible hand of the.
When I play Granick, I become David.
Oh, just Granick. Just Granick. There's not another magic user in the same universe. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Nope, not a bit. No.
I would say
that Airken had it coming.
That Airken had it coming. So how would you guys go about that? How would you guys go, or would you consider just scrapping the game?
I've scrapped games. I've played characters where I've pretty much told Jesus, like, if we go back to the game, I can never go back to that character. And he's like, well, you're the captain of the ship. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. Like, I think we played, what was it called? It was that pirate game that was really like
Honor and Intrigue.
Yeah, Honor and Intrigue had one of the, like, a really simple system, which I loved. It was smooth as hell. But then I got in my head, I was like, oh, I get to choose, like, what nationality it's. I'm going to do a French accent. And then, like, after the second campaign, I looked at it and said, like, I don't really want to be a French captain anymore. And he's like, well, we kind of tied that really close to your character. And I'm like, yeah, we don't need to play that, do we? And he's like, I guess not. But how would I tell it to a player? I don't know, because Fandible, like, have we ever had to talk to somebody about like a GM not liking their character and having to ban we've gone to GMs and said like, hey, I want you to kill my character, I want you to retire him, but we've never had to say like, okay, I think the closest thing I have is when we start a game, occasionally David will want to play something that he finds fun, and I will say, I'm sorry, David, you have to play a normal character, and I see the little bit of hurt in his eyes each time as his hope dies.
Kind of like the most recent posted game. Yeah, I think it's because, but I think that's kind of like the reverse. Instead of playing something so mundane that it might hurt the tale of high adventure, I want to play something of high adventure, and you're like, no, something more mundane. By the way, why are we getting? I've got the most hands. I don't know what those hands mean. I think that means people want to slap me for people to twice.
Yes. No, it's like
okay.
Jesus Christ!
All right, 20 more people you get.
Can we put in the Final Fantasy music here?
Can you do negative props at any point?
Is that
Nope. I don't think they can be taken away.
This is imbalanced.
Don't be jealous. I'll say on the actual topic at hand. Jesus and I had a conversation about Dr. Strauss.
No one catch that conversation at hand.
Because no one caught it because I very specifically pulled Jesus aside because it's not a conversation that anyone else needed to be part of, and this was after the poop classes.
Yeah. The poop class.
Where I was just like, so it's the next time I played, I was like, hey, how are you feeling about? I tried to at least, and Jesus, you can tell me if I failed horrifically.
It was perfect. Honestly, that was not one of my best days. I don't know if I was tired or my mind was not in the character at all.
Yeah. So, but it was me. I tried to make it more of a check-in, like, hey, how are you feeling about the character? Yep. And then when and Jesus said like, it was a little rough last time. I was like, okay, I'm glad that we're on the same page. And he's been a stronger character.
Yes, I really do think that these obstacles are the low point for that character.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Role-playing makes you say weird things as like genuine critique or pneumatic placeholders. We'll always remember it. So far with Angela's game, it's nails, glasses,
nails,
and Amazons, which will be the name of my memoir. Okay. So Billy, you said that you would scrap the game if the conflict between player, character, and narrative was too extreme.
Well, that's just because I'm really bad at confrontation.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't scrap the game. I mean, here's the thing. I trust the four of you. Yeah, the four of you. I trust the four of you in our group enough where I can actually sit down and talk to you guys. But if it was like, I don't know, a new group, that'd be rough. That's like my nightmare. That's why I don't like go to cons and run any of my Billy Burst games, because as soon as someone's like goes off like what I did not expect, I'd just be like a deer in the headlights, and it's probably the worst thing to have for like a GM. But that's the only reason I am able to GM for you guys is because I guess I get a feel for what you're going for. Or what you'll do, so I can kind of prepare for that mentally.
Well, I mean, with new groups, I think it's important because I mean, again, yeah, we have we can talk with one another, but during and after. With new groups, especially to kind of avoid that, I'd say the most important thing is set expectations. Like you're running Face Punch the game about punching people in faces.
I want to play that game.
And some guy wants to play the talker. You kind of have to, hey, this game is going to be all about punching people in their faces. You want to play a guy who kicks people? That's really not going to mesh. And like, make that very clear before the game begins. Because after the game, yeah, it gets really awkward. So.
All right. So we brought up con games, running a con game. Now, only one of us has run a con game before, and that's a convention game. A game at a convention where people sign up and they play in a game that the storyteller, the GM or dungeon master predetermines with a predetermined story. Angela, you've been the only one to do that. So instead of
Yep.
beating a dead horse, because we've all asked you, what is it like, and what do you do with problem players? Here's something better. If you had to assign each one of us a game that we had to run that is not our specialty,
Oh boy.
so that is not Shadowrun or Unhallowed or Dread slash Demon,
Stevie.
yeah, or Uno. Let's say we're like the worst. We're the worst. We've all missed our blog posts for the last month collectively. One of us, I'm not going to name names, made a really unfortunate joke at the expense of feminists while talking to Amazons in the belly of the hollow earth. Like you just woke up and you're like, fuck these guys. And we have to show up, and we don't know we do not know what that roster says until we see our names next to it, next to the GM.
Mm-hmm.
What game are we running as punishment?
All right, so a game for each
Your
of you.
hair looks
to run.
phenomenal, by the way.
That's very nice.
It's natural like that.
You just woke up like that? Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally just woke up like this. Yeah, this is what my hair does in
You're getting
Blizzard.
points for
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it. If I couldn't get points for putting the cat on screen, I will take points for my hair.
My girlfriend
being
was saying the
amazing.
same thing this morning, but the best thing about Blizzards apparently is what it does for your hair.
Okay, that's
Right.
secret tips of Fandible. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, what punishment?
Yep.
Punishment.
Look what it does
Okay,
for my
hair.
hair. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, this is glorious. Look at this. Oh,
You guys all look beautiful in your
Your
own way.
tauntaun will have curls by the first marker.
and thank you for the.
Okay, so games to make you people run as
Oh
punishment.
God.
I'm going to make David run the end of the world because I'm going to make him run the game filled with normal people.
oh.
Nice.
Oh my god!
Stop it, you dick.
The cat just trying to eat the headphone cord. Oh goodness. Okay. So all right. So David's gonna run the end of the world. I'm going to make Billy run Shadowrun.
Oh,
Billy
God.
hates the game.
No. I think the only way you could have done it if you gave me the Apocalypse Engine, then I would have cried. But you've already done. As long as Princess Lando is okay. Yeah. He's made it through a couple of them, hasn't
Yeah.
he?
Oh yeah.
Like 2 of them. No, 1. He's only survived 1. Yeah, he got turned into like a worm monster, and then you turned him into a violent psychopath dog.
Mm.
Yeah, he only survived 1.
Well, we played 2 others.
Oh, then he just
He was fighting Cthulhu,
Cthulhu just didn't go to the White Castle.
so he was fine.
Yeah,
Locked inside his
Cthulhu loved
room.
him.
You mom.
Let's see. Jesus is a hard one because Jesus has already run so much.
I am just a gamer sexual. I'll run anything.
I think
Don't say that.
Yeah.
Slut. I'm not entirely sure. RPG slut. Hashtag RPG slut.
But I'm going to I'll give Jesus something like, or no, I'm going to give this to Daniel. I'm going to give Daniel something like Cyberpunk. Because while this fits Daniel's like normal personality as king of the screens, I want a game with no magic for him.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Also, I would also just be constantly twitching and going like, that's not how that actually works. No.
So see, it's perfect.
I combine our Wi-Fi's into one IP address.
That's amazing.
Yep.
And Jesus, I want you.
I got one.
Oh, okay.
Give him something
Oh,
Disney
no.
related, like something
like a kid's game.
like a kid's game, like Toon.
Oh, God.
And then at the end, they'll be like sacrificing Minnie to like the fucking ball.
That's the only way to.
I'll give you Jesus, you have to do No Thank You Evil, which is the Monty Cook kids game based on the Cypher system.
Oh,
That sounds actually kind of awesome. Wait, no, but if he gets to play a bunch of children, then no one will ever be able to succeed at a role.
Oh yeah.
No, we'll win everything. If we're playing the kids, we win everything because Jesus' kids win
That's
everything.
Found the trick. You found the trick.
See, I would say with Jesus's vast experience running games, it's not so much what game he runs, but for whom. I would say have him run for like 13-year-old kids, so he can't do any of the dark shit because that guilt will kick in and be like, no, I can't have the torture scene for Billy or Tommy, who's 13 and can barely keep his voice from cracking. Like, he has to watch his brain race and be like, just to look over from my paint. I'm assuming that we're all in view of each other at this hell convention, and so we can look over for support at each other as like with these pleading like, yeah.
I want to fight the unicorn.
It'd be easy. I'd just be like throwing gasoline on the table, just lighting it up like it's on. Crunch this, bitches, and just hit the table with like a sledgehammer. Or dress up like Miley Cyrus and come in on like a wrecking ball.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Hey, Dave, we've got 2 questions from our listeners here that we haven't answered. One way up there is, how would one of them go around getting one of those Fandible water bottles, which I believe only you could answer?
Went to T-shirts, something. It's
the answer should be you can't yet. But,
you can't
maybe
yet.
You will soon.
You can't yet, but you will soon. Thank you, Dan.
A second question, I believe, from Steve here. Can you see the chat? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, soon for a reasonable price. We'll do our best.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna try our best.
However much money you can stuff into one of the liter bottles, that is the rough asking price. Yep.
All right. If a bird flies across a time zone, does it get jet lag?
Well, if it's just one, I'm going to say no.
Is it a European swallow or a South American swallow?
I was waiting, David. I was waiting.
I need to know how much.
But how the hell am I supposed to know that? Oh!
African or European? Thank you, Hellfire Eyes. I knew. I wondered if it was European or African or European South American. Thank you very much. Expect to chime in as I misquote Mel Brooks films later. So I guess so the final question is there a time thing here? I forgot to set a time. So
we just hit 4 o'clock.
We just hit 4 o'clock.
But we started at 3.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
We're good.
Yeah, we're not even an hour in.
Oh, right on. So moving on from the hellscape that is all of us having to run those games, to something more pleasant, which is there in particular a story that. Sorry, I can hear my cat like begging to be let in right now, and all I hear in cat though, he's like no, and all I'm hearing in cat is this like, so I can claw you and fuck your shit up, like stop being productive. So is it actually? This is a better question. If you could incorporate a skill that you aspire to learn into a game, then what skill would that be? An example would be like if you want to learn more about actual computers and you found a game that actually allowed you to utilize that kind of level of technical detail, what skill would you want to learn through gaming effectively?
Medical, like doctor stuff. Like I would love to do like a medical drama where they'd be like, okay, these are the symptoms, and we just like go all house.
Oh.
That would be fun.
That would be really interesting.
Well, not fun. It would be really annoying, I'm sure. But if it actually taught me how to save a life, then it's worth it.
Yeah. So let's assume in this what if like you have a checklist afterwards, or you have like a small quiz or something to see how much of the information you retained, but within the game there is actual information to retain, some bearing on reality.
Yeah, it's real information on how to perform the Heimlich maneuver, not as we might obfuscate. It's like, yeah, you look up how to do the Heimlich maneuver, you get a +2 to your roll.
No, yeah, I want to know. Like, I have to go into details. Like, okay, first I cut to the carotid artery.
Not for the Heimlich.
Not for the Heimlich.
That's
wow, Billy, you really do need this game where you learn
never
this.
cut the fucking artery, asshole. Not the Heimlich.
I couldn't resist.
That's amazing.
Is there a doctor on this plane? No, but I have a dice bag.
Oh my God, Fandible medical supplies.
Mhm.
How about you, Rodriguez?
Honestly, if I choose one, I would want a game that kind of teaches you electronics, like maybe not necessarily like grabbing a circuit board, but maybe the components of one and putting them together to form some sort of game. I have no idea what that game would be, but it'd be interesting. Maybe eventually by the end, the ultimate battle will be making a robot and having it take over the world or something silly like that.
In that game, I'd be the trouble player because I'd play the Amish.
That's the equivalent of playing a pacifist in Warhammer 40k, playing an Amish person.
Exactly.
I just sit there and scold you guys.
No, they had Amish in Warhammer 40k. Things happened to them.
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm sure they
Which
did.
is weird because they're so good at building churches.
Geez, for me, actual skills. Because I mean, my first instinct is parkour, which I will never learn from any way, shape, or form. It's a miracle I can get out of bed each morning and not kill myself. Otherwise,
It's just out of bed.
just and done. History is an easy one, I guess. I mean, if you want to be a history buff, an RPG is a pretty good way to learn. Kind of like full
Well,
immersion.
that's what
Time Watch.
Yeah.
well, Time Watch, or Time Watch is like alt history. I was gonna say Oregon Trail.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Oregon Trail, where I just buy all the bullets and hope.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, you play a banker. You start with all the money. You buy a bunch of bullets, and then you go hunt bear for no reason. It's like we're
Like 30 minutes out of town for like 2 years. You come back, like, you didn't make it to the Oregon? Like, no, but I got all this.
Which you can't carry back to your
Yes.
wagon.
The buffaloes tell the tale.
It's just a killing field. Well, I guess that kind of is historically accurate, then, isn't it? Sadly. Gosh. For me, I don't know because I'm capable of so much already. I would. You know what? It would be really cool if you could learn magic tricks through a role-playing game. So sleight of hand and things like that. So if it was a game based on charlatans and obfuscating how things are actually working with anything within your hands, that would be cool if the mechanics of the game was you actually learning how to do these very basic tricks. And if you could incorporate the cards or coins as you make them disappear into, if you can incorporate that into the mechanics so that when you started the game, you didn't have the skill, but when you ended the game, you became better at it, and so did your character. That would be really, really interesting because I'm constantly full of nervous energy, and I'm like, flipping a pen in my hand, or I'm like, flipping a quarter or something like that. If I had something to do, and I think that'd be really useful for me, so I could walk away. And you guys have all really admirable skill sets, and I feel like I'm just being like, all right, well, it's like Billy's like, I learned how to resuscitate a person if they're choking or dying, and Jesus is like, oh, I figured out how I can fix my computer if it goes haywire due to X, and then Dan is like, it's like, oh, I learned the entirety of the French Revolution as viewed by the sans culottes, and I'm like, pick a card. Yeah, it's like
I don't know. I like pick a card because the one that you named, David, is the one that really needs to be done to learn. You can read about how to save people. Practical experience is better, but it works. You can read about history, you can read about electronics, but magic tricks, especially the sleight of hand ones, you can only learn those if you're doing them. You can read all you want, but when it comes down to, wait, how the fuck do I hide a quarter between my thumb and my index finger? You have to try it.
So, in order to make role-playing cooler, you get to learn magic.
That actually legit, like, here's the thing. As you know, I'm kind of a self-hating nerd. If we did go to a convention and then my friends who are not in the geekosphere ask me like, so what did you go to Atlanta for? And I want to hesitate to say Dragon Con.
Drugs.
Yeah. I work for the Triads.
Drug Con.
It's the new stuff. It's really hardcore.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But that would be for me though, because it'd be it's a quantifier. It's something that I can show, like, oh well, I played this game that was like Dungeons and Dragons, but the way that you played the game was by doing this, and then I showed them some sort of like sleight of hand magic trick.
I'm just trying to figure out how that would work. Like, I want to stab the kobolds with my sword. Can you guess what card I picked? No, you missed. I'm just trying to figure out like the mechanics.
I'll hang him with my scarves.
I think maybe because there's so many different sleight of hand magic tricks that you would be able to find one, and maybe it was something so simple as I go to stab the kobold. Storyteller hands you a coin and says, all right, make this disappear, reappear behind my ear, and when you put it down, it's heads up. And so, like, you build on top of, like, okay, you've already learned how to make it disappear. Last combat, you learned how to, like, make it appear again. Now I'm teaching you how that you can do the trick where, it's always one side up. Which, the best part about this is that because there are actual other games that require cards and coins and dice and things like that, no one would admit you to their games if you just walked away from the I learned how to cheat professionally table. Like, that would be awesome. Like, did you just play like Magic the Suckering over there with those assholes? Like, yeah, I learned how to do all kinds of stuff. Great. You cannot play in my game. I'm teaching history. Thank you very much. Yeah, so
they especially can't go over to a game that uses cards as the randomizing mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh no, I don't trust you. You definitely have extra cards up your sleeve.
Oh, absolutely. What games? There's a game that we played that does that, isn't there?
That was
Fortune's Fool. Oh, that was tarot cards. Yeah,
but
Reclamation.
Reclamation. There we go.
Right. Yeah, they used cards. That would be super, super shady. But basically, I like the idea, and then like further on, you just watch the table evolve. You watch the game evolve, and finally, a bunch of people are just crowded around a poker table, and like all trying to out-cheat each other in the climactic combat scene. Or maybe, boom, there it is. You found a game that no longer involves combat, because the entirety of the game is to misdirect so combat never happens, so that you constantly are like using your skill set to get out of a tricky situation.
So the entire role-playing experience is you're playing a cheater at a card table playing poker, and you just keep on learning how to become a better cheater, and then you're just playing poker with a bunch of guys on Saturday trying to out-cheat each other.
Exactly.
I think you just want to play poker, David.
Let's be honest, Dave. All you want to do is play some poker.
Then you go down the street to White Castle because you're got the munchies, and you discover the Cthulhu cult.
Yep.
Under the
we have this game already.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what I did there. I'm also sad that we're not playing that game right now, being snowed in, because the
End of the World, it's out.
Oh, it's out
on the 24th.
The new one?
Oh,
nice.
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we can put in our order for it. End of the World. I am so excited about it. End of the World, fresh, exciting, by Fantasy Flight, brought to you by Fandible.com.
I do.
We love it.
It's the alien one, right? Right.
It's the alien one.
Yeah, okay.
This one has it has the gray aliens from Mars, has the Atlanteans flooding the Earth, it has the body snatchers, it has the ant colony, and it has hashtag lizard people.
Okay.
Amazing.
All
Do you think one of Jerry's waifus is a lizard person in disguise?
Ooh.
Oh no, I think she's straight up an alien though. I think that the pillow people.
Yeah. They can't be a lizard person and an alien.
Well, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah,
it's like a.
I've seen that anime. It's there. It exists.
I've played that game.
Oh god. Oh god.
I'm sure you have.
So right. So real quick, using this technology here, I wanted to pose the idea. Listeners, you can please email us or tweet us, whatever, with a service that will allow us to do this. I really want to utilize BlizzCon or Blizzard again, to try something out. I would like Daniel, because Daniel recently purchased a very nice computer that can play video games. I would like him to Twitch broadcast him playing a game like a RTS, and that we can commentate on without him hearing what we're saying.
I dig that.
And just like 10 minutes, like just drop us in 10 minutes, like play the game for 10 minutes, then we drop in having no context, and you're playing like, you know, the original Warcraft. Okay, not the original Warcraft, that would be slow as shit, but like StarCraft 2 or something that would be easy to render on multiple screens, and then we commentate on it for 10 minutes, and then boom, we put that up on YouTube. And see, none of us have to leave the house, and we get to make fun of Daniel, and Daniel gets to play a video game.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I don't know how you'd make that work. Angela, you found Blab, so
yeah, I can stream the video game, no problem. It's getting you guys onto it that might be an issue.
Yeah. So it'll just be you playing Tetris. Cat is dying out there. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. For the rest of Fandible, do you have any closing statements that you would like to make? Requests for, like, my cat is going to break down this door. Jesus, when you edit this, can you just squash out his meows of please let me in, I want all the attention?
Honestly,
We don't hear him.
I don't even hear him.
Fucking awesome.
It's all you.
I think that's your guilt.
I wish I
David.
lived in your world. I'm trying to understand your world, man. Yeah. Anybody have any final things to say before we close out?
Yay, Blizzard 2016!
And we could have taken this this as an opportunity to actually use one of those online tabletop platforms, couldn't we? Like something. I don't know. We'll look into that.
Like Roll20 or something.
Sure. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Or Red Dragon Inn on AOL.com. Showing my age there. All right.
Yep. Time for some research. Okay.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. I've been Dave, your moderator, for another Geeky Topics Roundtable discussion. You can find me on Twitter at Distractionista. Dan.
Hey guys, this is Dan. Thank you all for listening. And as you can see right above my head, I'm at Katsushiro on Twitter.
Above my head, I'm at Arvandis on Twitter.
And I do tweet most of the stuff at Fandible. I'm also found at Angela Craft.
And you can find me, Billy, at the Mind.
Great. And I guess since this is the first time that we've done this, judging by the prayer hands, Daniel's gotten the most prayers. So congratulations, Daniel.
I win. I will answer all your
You are now the most blessed. Congratulations.
All right, Daniel's the one kicked off the team.
Yeah.
That's what you're all voting for.
Whoa, there's just one dude praying so
Wow.
hard.
It's the beard, guys. It's the beard. It's very prayer induced.
I will say I have the ability. I can kick people from the chat, and I think that he's been voted off the island.
Oh, wow. That's why it works.
Hashtag
Okay.
Majestic Dan. I'm pretty sure I win.
No, we just want to
Say thing, but that doesn't make it true.
Forget Magic Mike. He's got Majestic.
You gotta piss off my fans, because clearly they're all here for me. I'm just saying, if you kick me, I'm taking them with me.
Yeah, can we all work on our beards for next
Okay,
time?
so
Especially
I got
Angela.
mine.
Hey, I'm your beard? I'm your beard? What does that mean?
that's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. Please remember to, if you have any more questions concerning this GTRT, just ask us on Twitter with hashtag MajesticDan. I don't know how to close this out because I didn't set this up, so...
Yeah, so I'm going to stop recording, and then we can still chat live with people watching us, or we can all just run away.
No, I totally want to keep chatting. And do you want to do a blast on Fandible, Twitter or whatever, to say like, hey, we're gonna keep doing some talky talk if you want to join in.
Sure.
And I got to go make sure my cat is not like knocked over a vase there.
All right, so I'm going to pause the recording.